poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another film review. This one is about Descendants 2, so we are halfway through our sort of trilogy review. We took a look at Descendants Rise of Red a couple of weeks ago, we took a look at Descendants 1 yesterday, and we're taking a look at Descendants 3 tomorrow. I did want to do this as a review because I did think it was very interesting to see how far we have come from the original Descendants to Rise of Red, and I thought I did a review on these movies a long time ago, but unfortunately I never got around to it. So here it is, I'm finally getting around to it, finally talking about it, finally talking about Descendants, and not just in a LEGO custom video. So without any further delay, let's quickly shuffle on over to Google and see what it has to say about number 2. So Descendants 2 came out in like 2016, 2017, and it is an hour and 51 minutes. It is a fantasy musical, and it is a PG. It is a 4.6 out of 5 on Amazon UK, a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb, and you can watch this on Disney+, YouTube, and Amazon Prime. Mel returns to the Isle of the Lost as she finds it difficult to adjust to royal life. Uma, her nemesis, unleashes her evil friends and captures King Ben, Mel's boyfriend, to seek revenge against her. So how this movie starts is Mel is facing a lot of struggles adapting to being a royal. Again, she had literally just got married to the man she just met after sort of moving to Rotton prep, and she moves back to the Isle of the Lost to sort of, you know, go back to the life of sadness, the life of crime that she's used to. She goes back to her old habits, she sort of relapses and just goes to being a bad girl again, and her friends are worried about her, so they take Ben to go and find her back in the Isle of the Lost, and they teach Ben to be a bad guy. They teach him to be evil and teach him to be not good. They have an argument with Mal, try and convince her to return. She doesn't, and then they're like, okay, if this is what you want, this is your choice, we can stay here. And then, you know, Uma kidnaps Ben, so Mal has to go and fight her. They have a massive fight. Uma gets a pretty badass song, which is reused like 3 times. Once again in Descendants 3, and then once again in Descendants Rise of Red. It is a pretty good song, one of my personal favorites. It is in my Spotify playlist. Like I've said with a lot of other of these songs, they're all absolute bangers. They're all absolute hit bops, certified bangers, if you will. And continuing on, they rescue Ben and go back to Rotton and start making some changes, start making some new rules, and that's pretty much where the movie ends. I'm gonna be honest, they fight on a yacht and Uma turns into a giant squid, like at the end of Little Mermaid. Again, Uma is Ursula's daughter. It's just interesting, and like they keep expanding on their world, showing new places in the Isle of the Lost, introducing new characters who are like descendants, the title of the movie, like the children of the villains, the descendants of the villains, and I'm gonna be honest, Hook was one of my favorite villains. Like Hook's son, he's one of my favorite villains. I think he's really cool, and he has a really nice voice, especially when singing. And this one has some of the greatest choreography in all 3 of the Descendants movies, has some of the greatest songs in all 3 of the Descendants movies. It's just a very lackluster story. It's not a very exciting story. It sort of adds a little bit more to Mel's character and to Ben's character and their relationship and helping them grow together. But for everyone else, it doesn't really have a lot of time to focus on them, and they don't get like a whole lot of character development. They just sort of run around after Mel the entire movie. So again, it is quite weak in terms of like everyone else, but for Mel specifically, it's a great movie. Everyone else doesn't get that much time to shine, so I'm a little upset with this one. I think this is the worst one out of the trilogy, and number 2s, number 3s are always kind of the worst ones, like Kung Fu Panda 3, Madagascar 3, they're the worst ones, but through his other trilogies where they sort of go down at number 2 and then rise back up for number 3, which is definitely what they did here for Descendants. Also, I don't know what was going on with Mal's bangs. I don't know why they changed her hair. Her hair is the same in 1 and 3, sorry, but for whatever reason in number 2 they gave her bangs and they made her have pink hair instead of purple. I don't know. Making her emo, making her whatever. I feel like that hair would just get in the way a lot more, especially when fighting Uma. But I guess it was easier to style for her royal life. And again, she does get all this magic, and her eyes glow green when she does use magic. The CGI for 2017 is still quite bad, but that is because this is a made-for-TV movie. Made-for-TV movies have significantly less budget than normal movies, and this is coming from Disney, so they are using the best of the best that the Disney Channel has to offer in the form of Dove Cameron, Bryce, whatever, I don't remember his name, I am sorry, and a couple of other characters as well. These all grew up as Disney kids, so you'll see these guys all over the Disney Channel and all over Disney properties. And again, I absolutely adore Dove Cameron. She has changed to a life of singing, very similar sort of arc in real life, like a character sort of story as Sabrina Carpenter's having right now. She was in quite a few movies. She was a Netflix girl, she was in Work It, she was in Tall Girl 2, and then she moved to being a singer, which I think is really cool. And it just goes to show people are very talented and can go on to do loads of amazing, great stuff. And I haven't heard from Dove Cameron in a while. I don't know what she's actually up to right now. I'm sure she still has quite a bit of bank from all these Disney properties she took part in. And I'm just excited to see where she goes next and if she has any songs coming out. But Descendants 2 isn't my favourite. If I had a ranking system, best would be 3, then 1, then 2 at the bottom. And that's really all I have to say. The story was the thing that dragged this one down. The CGI also didn't really help. The story just wasn't that exciting, wasn't that gripping, but the costume, set design, and also the songs were also really interesting. I liked them. That's why I'm still giving it quite a high ranking compared to some of the others. So I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. I do actually agree with what IMDb says about this one. But other than that, I don't really have a lot else to say. Hit that subscribe button. I know it's big, red, and scary, but I promise you won't regret pushing it. It is free, and you can always change your mind later if you do decide you don't like my content. I'm just sort of encouraging you to do it, because 98% of you are recurring viewers, but you're not subscribed. So you like my content, but you're just not subscribing to the channel. So make a difference, make a change, subscribe to the channel, and, join the community, make it grow. And I'll see you all later in the next one. If you do want me to do any other movie reviews, series reviews, anime reviews, please do leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get on them as soon as possible. But other than that, I'm gonna skedaddle. I'll love you and leave you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.